following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up, WIU is saying farewell to a piece of university history as a longtime residence hall is set to be demolished. News 3 has an exclusive tour of the vacant building. A final look ahead.
1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men will be sexually assaulted in college. We'll tell you what resources are available for victims here at WIU and in the Macomb community.
Later on in weather, there's no doubt it's chilly out. Storm Team 3's JT Greider will let you know if we're going to see any snowflakes fall this weekend. Live at 4 starts now.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
Breaking news, John Glenn, the first American to orbit the Earth and the oldest man to go into space, is dead.
President of Ohio State University Michael Drake said he died today at the age of 95. According to Ohio State University officials, Glenn had been hospitalized at Wexner Medical Center in Columbus, Ohio for about a week. He was surrounded by family when he died. He became the first American to orbit the Earth in 1962.
Glenn is the last of the Mercury 7 to die. He was a U.S. Senator for 24 years. In 1998, Glenn became the oldest person to ever go into space. Back to Macomb news, the university is getting ready to tear down the tallest building on campus and in McDonough County. News 3 got an exclusive tour of the vacant building. John Benedict reports.
Desolate. Empty. Once the tallest residence building at WIU is now just a looming shell. It has been 3 years since Higgins Hall was last in service, but safety concerns, cost of maintenance, and low admissions forced WIU to shut it down. University Housing had considered renovating Higgins to look like its neighbor, Thompson Hall. The cost of renovations would have hit $48 million. Taking it out of service and eventually demolishing it cost just $1.5 million. The university opted the latter. News 3 got an exclusive look at Higgins. We found pool tables, beds, even leftover desk supplies that still remained. Facilities management engineer Chris Martin led the tour and said that a lot of work was still left if the building is to come down.
Essentially, before the implosion happens, the only thing that will be left of this building is the concrete, which is the structure itself. Everything else will be stripped down, and we require that as much of it as is recycled as is possible.
Once the building is stripped, they intend to implode it by next summer. Until then, keeping people clear of Higgins is essential. Vandalism and break-ins are a problem. Campus police are doing everything they can to prevent any more crime.
There has been evidence of several other break-ins, breaking through windows with chunks of concrete or essentially whatever they can find outside.
Nearby residents will have a chance to express their concerns of the implosion. Their houses, just a softball's throw away.
There will be a community outreach. So we don't have that scheduled yet, but essentially what we will do is myself and the contractors, we will go around to these neighborhoods, let people know that there will be an opportunity for them to come to a group meeting or a meeting to express their concerns, ask their questions.
Once the building is gone, the campus intends to make the area into a green area. Until then, the building sits as it has for 3 years, awaiting its ultimate fate.
For News 3, I'm John Benedict.
The Q lot just outside of Higgins has been closed in an effort to keep the students at a safe distance. The lot will remain out of service until the building is imploded.
Now, JT, it was a cold walk to the newsroom earlier today. How much has the temperature dropped since then?
They haven't changed a whole lot, and that wind is really causing them to be pretty brisk, and that will stay around for quite a little bit longer. Now, if we look, our current temperature here in Macomb is 22 degrees, but our feels-like temperature, because of those winds, it feels about 2 degrees. And those winds are out of the northwest at about 21 miles an hour. Now these are going to stay in place, and they're going to continue to drop our temperatures throughout the night. As our cooler temperatures start coming in, those winds are going to keep at that high rate of speed, and it's really going to make the temperatures feel a whole lot less. If we move into our current surface map, we see that we have a low off to the north, and that's kind of pushing some of these winds around, but then we also have the high pressure off to our west. And if we look to the far west, that's our next weather maker. That's going to start pushing in our direction, and I'll let you know when that snow arrives and how much we can see coming up.
Thanks, JT. A man from industry is facing charges of sexual assault. 2 minors said Christopher Kitch touched them inappropriately. The 2 children are ages 12 and 7. They told McDonough County Sheriff's detectives about the abuse back in November. The office investigated the report and issued a warrant for Kitch this week. He is facing 4 charges, including predatory criminal sexual assault of a child. Kitch is being held on a $250,000 bond.
Sexual assault is one of the most underreported crimes in the U.S. There are 2 local services in the community where victims can turn to.
News 3's Kayla Collins reports on how they can help.
The National Coalition Against Domestic Violence says in the United States, an average of 20 people are physically abused by intimate partners every minute. And according to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men are sexually assaulted while they are in college. On campus, the director of the Student Development Office, Tracy Scott, says his office offers help to students who have dealt with interpersonal violence.
Our office works with students who go through any kind of personal challenges that may impact their ability to be successful as a student. That includes students who have been survivors or victims of interpersonal violence.
Scott says there are other resources on campus for students to go to, such as the Women's Center and the Counseling Center. Students can even go off campus to the Western Illinois Regional Council, which offers help for victims of sexual assault, sexual abuse, domestic violence, and stalking. Jill Mann, who is a medical legal advocate, says she works with victims of sexual assault.
So if a victim goes to the hospital, to the emergency room, maybe to have a rape kit done, a lot of times either the victim or maybe a friend of the victims will call us, or even the hospital will call us, and we can meet them there.
Victims who seek help at the Western Illinois Regional Council are both women and men. For News 3, I'm Kayla Collins.
Mann says anyone who is a victim should talk to someone, whether it's a family member, friend, or counselor.
The McDonough County Public Transportation Committee is meeting tomorrow to discuss funding updates. Last week, the department received a federal reimbursement of $275,000. This helped to provide some cushion in the middle of a state funding drought. Public Transportation Director Nathan Cobb says he's hopeful they will receive a state payment this month, but the lack of state funding has made it difficult to stay afloat.
We've had the ability to use our reserves and partnerships with the university and Bridgeway in order to make it through this without having to make service cuts. So we should be good for a couple more months right now, moving forward with the reserves we have.
Be sure to check our Facebook page tomorrow morning. We'll have a reporter at the Public Transportation Committee meeting at 9 a.m.
Many people will be traveling for the holidays, and the Macomb Police have some tips to keep your home safe while you're away. Lock your doors and windows. Police say windows are the most common point of entry for burglars. Have a friend check on your home and pick up your mail while you're gone. Set timers on your lights and make it look like you're home. And police say the most important thing you can do is take your valuables with you. Electronics like TVs and gaming systems are an easy and rewarding steal for burglars. It's especially important for WIU students to take their valuables home with them, as their homes are a big target during the holiday break.
A News 3 update. The calendar signing of Western's mascot Colonel Rock III has been rescheduled to a later date. WIU says the calendar will include pictures of the beloved canine and important events such as Founders Day and Homecoming. The calendar is now on sale at the University Bookstore for $5.50. Darcy Schinberger from University Relations has confirmed the event is being rescheduled from tomorrow, December 9th, and is now taking place this Monday, the 12th, at the University Bookstore. In addition to signing calendars, Rocky will be posing for pictures as well.
Coming up, warm, fashionable, and charitable. There's not much more you could want in a Christmas present. Coming up, we'll tell you how a national fundraising movement made its way to WIU.
And now's the time to let Santa know what's on your wish list this year. Naughty or nice, we'll tell you where you can find St. Nick in Macomb this weekend.
But first, Jason Chauvin has a preview in sports. Jason?
Thanks, Bree. With the semester winding down, we still had a full week of sports here in town, including the Macomb High Bombers wrestling team who played host to Mercer County inside of the MHS gym on Tuesday. We have highlights of the matchup as the Bombers try to get one in the win column. That's still to come on Live at 4.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
Eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Christmas is supposed to be a time of joy and celebration, but for some families who have a child battling cancer, the season can be tough.
News 3's Emily Manley is here to tell us how you can make the holidays a little brighter for one of these families this year. Emily?
Bree and Danny, this actually started in Minnesota. 2 men at the University of St. Thomas wanted to help children battling with cancer. Brian and Zach created Love Your Melon back in 2012, and now more than 700 schools across the nation have joined the 2 entrepreneurs to help sell and donate hats. Within the last month, Western has become one of those 700 schools. Of Love Your Melon at Western Illinois University. She wears the hat with pride because her purchase of this one hat has given a child with cancer a hat as well.
We are all about being something that's bigger than ourselves and being supporters of kids who are fighting cancer and getting this organization just known.
Although the WIU crew has only been active for a month, they have already reached 215 points, a point per article of clothing. The crew only needs 35 more to reach their goal of visiting a child in the hospital.
In his hospital room, maybe go to chemo with him, pretty much do anything that he wants to do that day. We're there to keep him energized, keep him happy, and keep him going every single day.
Melanie Pearson joined the Love Your Melon crew at Western because she watched her 4-year-old cousin battle with cancer, and now she wants to help other kids.
My 4-year-old cousin 2 years ago got diagnosed with brain cancer, and I watched them help him through his entire progress, so I thought it was awesome. And then we brought it here to Western today, and it's just a great organization.
With the holidays right around the corner, giving the gift of Love Your Melon will not only bring a smile to your loved one's face, but will mean the world to a child with cancer.
You're getting that gift for the individual you bought it for, but then you're also purchasing a hat for an individual with cancer. Our goal is to get every child that we know with cancer a Love Your Melon hat, so purchase a hat, we'll get a hat for them as well.
Now, the beanies aren't the only gift available on the Love Your Melon website. You can also buy t-shirts and ball caps, and they were pretty darn cute. Now, if you want to check out all the great stuff they have on their website, it's loveyourmelon.com. And of course, you can be able to give Western the points that they need by, at the very end of your checkout, just hit Westerns for their campus. Reporting in the studio, Emily Manley, News 3.
Thanks, Emily. Santa Claus has arrived in the city of Macomb a few weeks ahead of Christmas Day. Starting this Friday, people can visit Santa at his cabin on the south side of the square. He will be available from 6 to 7:30 p.m. tomorrow and from 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday. For more dates, you can visit the City of Macomb, Illinois government Facebook page.
When we come back, JT Greider has a look at your 5-day forecast as we enter final exams week.
That and more next on Live at 4.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about News 3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News 3 has really taught me to believe in myself and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Live at 4. Taking a look at our current temperatures across the region, we see that we're in the low to mid 20s area-wide with 25 in Keokuk, 24 in Quincy, but then back here in Galesburg, we have that temperature of 20. Now, it actually feels like low to single digits. We have -1 in Galesburg, 2 in Macomb, but then if you look a little bit farther south where the wind's not blowing as fast, you have 10 in Keokuk. That just all depends on the wind speed, but our temperatures are right around the low to mid 20s, so these are going to be really cold wind chills as you walk out the door. Our Midwest Weather Tracker shows those snow flurries that have been really coming into our region as of late. They're going to start dissipating off into the night hours. A place like Galesburg, they're expected to see about 1 inch from this, but not too much more than that. It will be gone within the next coming days. Our snow accumulation for Sunday. We have a snowstorm moving in on Sunday. It's a winter storm, and it's supposed to drop about 1 to 3 inches of snow. Now that's all depending on how cold it gets. Our ground is already frozen, so it's going to start sticking quickly. Now it depends on when it switches over from rain to the snow. That depends on our snow accumulation, and we could get more than 1 to 3. Now, our tonight forecast. We're going to have clear skies, so that means our low is really going to drop down to about 15 degrees. Winds out of the north or west-northwest at 9 miles an hour. So our feels like temperatures are going to be down into about single digits. For tomorrow, we have a mostly sunny sky, high of 25 degrees, winds out of the west-northwest at 8 miles an hour. So that, again, it's going to drop our feels-like temperature down into the teens. If we move into our 5-day forecast from the Storm Team 3, you have tomorrow that high temperature of 25 degrees, and then Saturday, we bounce back up a little bit to about 32. And then you look at Sunday, we have our temperature of 36 degrees. So that snow is going to be falling. It's going to start out as a little bit of rain, but it's going to switch over pretty quickly over to that snow. Expecting about 1 to 3 inches, but that is preliminary. So we will definitely keep updated on that and keep everybody informed. I know Devin will do a good job this weekend doing the Facebook Live and keeping everybody posted.
Yes, he will. Thank you.
Yep.
We'll do a good job keeping an eye on sports as well. Jason Chauvin is in studio now.
Thanks, Danny. Still to come after the break, the Western Illinois women's basketball team was in action last night, taking on Graceland University inside of Western Hall. We have highlights of the game as the Leathernecks tried to make it back-to-back wins at home. And still to come, we preview the WIU men's basketball team before their big rivalry game as Eastern Illinois comes to town this Saturday. All that coming up after the break on Live at 4.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
My favorite thing about News 3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. News 3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover third graders. I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
Welcome back to Live at 4. The Macomb High wrestling team played host to Mercer County on Tuesday inside of the MHS gym. The Bombers looking to come away with the home victory here inside of the gym at home, as Coach Ladd has a few words for his team before the duel at 106 pounds. Nate Wilson of Macomb facing Clay Chapman, and Wilson scores off the reversal here early for the Bombers. But the tables would turn, however, with Chapman almost pinning Wilson. He would barely stay alive, though, in the match. Wilson would eventually hang on and win in a 6-5 decision for the Bombers. Colt Lawyer is a state honorable mention, and he shows why by pinning his opponent at the 350 mark at the 126-pound weight class. And we're going to go to the 145-pound Wally Bloomer of MHS against Tanner Barnhouse of Mercer County. Both parties pick up points here, but Bloomer built a big advantage through 2 periods. Here he decided to shoot and score a couple of points and win it by tech fall, the wrestling mercy rule of 18-3. But after a few strong performances, it wasn't enough for the Bombers here as Mercer County takes the match 49-20. The Bombers are in action again tonight in a quad with Galesburg High School, Farmington, and Midwest Central at the MHS gym at 6 p.m. To the hardwood now, the WIU women's basketball team played their second home game in 3 days, taking on Graceland University inside of Western Hall. The Leathernecks coming off a home win against the University of Bradley. We're going to go to the first quarter, and Taylor Higginbotham hits the jumper off the dish of Emily Clemens, and Western leads 2-0 early. Now on the defensive end, Mallory Boyle steals the ball and gets the pass up to Clemens, who does the rest, laying it in, and Western leads it 8-0 in the first. And from there on, it was the Emily Clemens show. Here she gets the pass in the corner, and she would not miss. Clemens showing off the range. Here she steps into an open triple, and she drills it. She made 14 of her 23 points in the first quarter alone. Later in the first, Michelle Farrow lays it in, and Western goes up 26-6 in the first quarter. And here, for good measure, WIU is clicking on all cylinders, and Taylor Hanneman nails the three, and Western leads this one 29-6 after one. In the second quarter, Higginbotham gets in on the party, and she nails one from downtown. Western goes up 53-20, and the Leathernecks would put it on cruise control from there. The Leathernecks top Graceland 118-40. Emily Clemens dominates and grabs her fourth double-double of the season with 23 points and 11 assists. She's also tied for first in the nation with 71 assists. Now, let's stay on the hardwood here. The WIU men's basketball team is in the middle of a 3-game slide and is preparing to face longtime rival Eastern Illinois this Saturday. I caught up with senior guard Jabari Sandifer and head coach Billy Wright talking about the keys to a victory.
Earlier, we got to take care of the ball, get limit their offensive rebounds, and stop them from running in transition, because that's what they like to do. And just our main focus is getting the first rebound and getting defensive stops.
Sound like a broken record, but we have to take care of the basketball and make good decisions, because it's hard to overcome that. And that's one area we feel that we can control. We focus on what we can control. And when you look at the end of the game, you look at the stat sheet, and you're giving up 15 to 25 points off turnovers. That's an area where if you cut that in half, maybe the outcome is different.
Coming up, WIU takes on in-state rival Eastern Illinois as they go head-to-head for the second time this season.
Eastern's having a good year. The last time out, they obviously won the game. It's been a great rivalry. There's history behind it. Last year we won both games. This year they won the first one. And we have the second round coming up this afternoon, on Saturday afternoon.
The two rivals tip off this Saturday inside of Western Hall at 2 p.m. That's all for sports. Final word is next.
Hillary Dunn was convinced that Western Illinois University would invest in her.
My classes, friends, teachers, and activities have had a tremendous impact on my time here.
Hillary's passion for learning and helping others will lead her down a successful path.
Whether I choose graduate school or missionary work, I'll serve to the best of my ability because I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'd have to say it's just the fact that you can get involved right away. You walk in the door and you can learn all the equipment. And I've been able to anchor, I've been able to be a DJ on our student-run radio station here. I've been able to work any of the camera equipment and the audio equipment. The fact that you can get involved right away. Everybody's really friendly. They welcome you right when you walk in the door. And you report the news, but you can also have fun stories and hard news stories and conflicting stories. But yet you just get such a real-life experience here at News 3.
Before we leave you tonight, a paperweight, a conversation piece, a work of art, it's up to you.
That's the description for this strange item from Nordstrom. It's a rock inside of a leather pouch. It costs $85.
And you want to know the crazy part? It's sold out.
How weird is that? I can't believe it's actually sold out. I don't even know what I would do with it.
I mean, I guess you could talk about, but it has no functional use. I don't know if you'd use it to make fire. I don't really get it. I mean, you could do that, JT. I mean, fire because it's so cold outside.
Are we cavemen now? Use it to use fire? We're cavemen?
We're cavemen. We're cavemen. That's it.
Well, that's all for us today. But join us tomorrow morning for our final show of the semester at 9 a.m. Good morning, Macomb.
We're also online all the time. Stay up to date with us. News3WIU.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search for our handle, News3WIU.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us here at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.